Did you know that each time you ask a chatbot a question, it consumes 10 times more electricity than a Google search? Imagine the strain when billions of queries flood in daily. This hidden energy consumption is a massive, unseen burden on our already overstretched power grids. Imagine every AI query consuming 10 times more electricity than a simple Google search. With data centers gobbling as much power as 100,000 homes each, they're straining America's power grid to its limits. While renewable energy is the solution, costly expansions struggle to keep pace with AI's growing demands. Imagine this. Every single AI query gobbles up 10 times more electricity than a Google search. Data centers now devour as much energy as 350,000 homes, straining the U.S. power grid to its breaking point. Let's unravel this crisis and explore if nuclear or renewable energy can bridge the gap. Over the past decade, AI has revolutionized industries, creating a voracious appetite for data processing power. This thirst for computation was sparked by breakthroughs in machine learning and deep learning technologies, pushing demand for ever more potent hardware. Companies like Google and OpenAI have been at the forefront, deploying massive neural networks that require significant energy to train and operate. The result is a rapid escalation in electricity consumption, as AI's computational needs dwarf those of traditional internet services, setting the stage for an unprecedented strain on energy resources. The U.S. power grid is under unprecedented strain, as evidenced by data centers demanding more energy than the grid can provide. Bloomberg reports expansion is stalling, with PJM capacity auction prices surging 12-fold in just 2 years. This could lead to a 10 to 20% increase in electricity bills for 65 million Americans. Data centers, which go online in 24 months, outpace new power plants that take 5 to 10 years to build, leading to significant generation gaps. Meanwhile, Microsoft is investing in nuclear options, while the government debates coal versus renewable energy solutions. As AI technology surges, so do energy demands, impacting even our wallets. The PJM capacity auction's soaring prices, a 12-fold increase over 2 years, spell a daunting future for 5 million Americans, potentially seeing electricity bills swell by 10 to 20%. This isn't just about numbers, it's about real-life consequences impacting families and businesses alike. The financial strain could ripple through economies, altering budgets and lifestyle choices. Behind the sleek allure of AI lies a growing economic challenge, a hidden cost entwined with technological advancement. Imagine a world where every time you ask a chatbot a question, its answer isn't just words on a screen. It's a burst of energy consumption. Every AI query you make uses 10 times more electricity than a typical Google search. Welcome to the hidden power demands of AI. A single large data center dedicated to AI can consume as much electricity as 100,000 homes. The giants among these facilities demand energy equivalent to 350,000 homes. This immense hunger for power stems from the constant computational and storage needs that AI requires. As AI's appetite for electricity grows, the United States power grid struggles to keep up. According to Bloomberg, data center expansion is slowing because current infrastructure is reaching its limits. Prices in PJM's capacity auctions have skyrocketed 12 times in just 2 years. This could lead to electricity bills rising by 10 to 20% for 65 million Americans. The generation gap is stark. While data centers can come online in 2 years, building new power plants takes up to a decade. Meanwhile, data centers also gulp down billions of gallons of water for cooling, adding to their environmental toll. As we delve into the generation gap between burgeoning data centers and the power needed to fuel them, the mismatch in timing becomes glaring. Constructing a data center typically takes around 24 months. Meanwhile, building a new power plant can stretch from 5 to 10 years. This disparity creates a critical bottleneck in energy supply, where demand frequently outstrips available capacity. In the U.S., this imbalance is starkly visible as data center demand skyrockets, yet energy production limps behind. For instance, according to Bloomberg, the PJM interconnection, which coordinates the power grid across 30 states, saw capacity auction prices soar 12-fold in just 2 years. This surge directly impacts consumer electricity bills. pushing them up by 10 to 20% for about 65 million Americans. Efforts to bridge this gap include discussions about restarting nuclear plants, like 3 Mile Island, and notable investments such as Microsoft securing nuclear energy to power its operations. While the former administration advocated for coal and gas, it's clear that renewable energy solutions are desperately needed to meet this escalating demand. Microsoft's recent move to invest in nuclear power underscores the urgent need for reliable energy sources to sustain the growing demand of data centers. With artificial intelligence queries consuming 10 times more electricity than a Google search, the pressure on the energy infrastructure is mounting. Microsoft is not alone in this endeavor. Discussions around reopening 3 Mile Island are gaining traction, highlighting nuclear energy's potential to provide a stable power supply without the carbon footprint of fossil fuels. However, while nuclear offers a promising solution, it isn't without its complexities. Renewable energy remains a critical component in the quest for a sustainable future. Solar, wind, and hydroelectric power offer cleaner alternatives and can be integrated more rapidly than building new nuclear facilities. Despite this, the transition is not without challenges. The U.S. power grid is struggling to keep pace with data center demand, stretching its limits. According to Bloomberg, data center expansions have slowed as a result, highlighting the urgency of diversifying energy sources. A sustainable energy strategy must balance nuclear and renewables, considering not only electricity, but also water usage, as data centers require billions of gallons for cooling. The hidden environmental cost of AI is a conversation we must prioritize as we navigate this digital revolution. As AI technology continues its rapid expansion, the strain on our energy infrastructure becomes ever more pressing. The Trump administration previously pushed for coal and gas to support energy demands. However, experts argue that a sustainable and resilient grid relies on renewable energy sources. Solar, wind, and hydroelectric power are crucial as they offer cleaner, more sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels. Policymakers have a pivotal role in shaping this energy landscape, providing incentives for renewable energy investments and supporting infrastructure upgrades. For instance, initiatives like California's ambitious goal to achieve 100% clean electricity by 2045 are setting benchmarks for other states. The stakes are high. As data centers proliferate, consuming power equivalent to hundreds of thousands of homes, our outdated power grid struggles to keep pace. Expansion is stalling. Bloomberg highlights that even the PJM capacity auction prices have soared 12-fold in just 2 years. To ensure a steady energy supply, we must align policy with the realities of our power needs and environmental responsibilities. By transitioning to a more renewable-based grid, we not only support the AI revolution, but also mitigate its hidden environmental costs. Every time you ask a chatbot a question, there's a hidden environmental cost that many overlook: the immense amount of water used to keep the data centers cool. These facilities, essential for AI operations, use billions of gallons of water annually, which not only stresses local water supplies, but also contributes significantly to water scarcity, especially in already drought-prone areas. For example, in places like California, where water is a precious commodity, the usage by data centers can exacerbate the situation, leaving communities and ecosystems at risk. To give you an idea, a single large data center can use as much water as a small city. Google's data centers alone consumed about 4.3 billion gallons of water in 2019. This vast consumption underscores the urgency of addressing the environmental impact of AI technologies. The competition for water resources creates a dilemma for municipalities trying to attract these high-tech facilities while safeguarding the needs of residents and agriculture. It's a delicate balance, and as AI continues to expand, it will be crucial to find sustainable solutions to ensure that both technological advancement and environmental stewardship can coexist. When we think about AI, we often focus on its incredible capabilities, but rarely do we consider its environmental footprint. Beyond carbon emissions, AI's energy consumption and its cooling demands are pressing ecological concerns. Imagine every AI query you initiate consumes 10 times more electricity than a typical Google search. Vast data centers, some of the largest in the world, use as much power as 350,000 homes. This voracious energy appetite is straining the U.S. power grid to its breaking point. The reality is stark. Data center expansion is decelerating as the grid can't keep pace with demand. Bloomberg reports that PJM capacity auction prices have skyrocketed 12-fold in just 2 years. For 65 million Americans, this could mean electricity bills jumping by 10 to 20%. While data centers can go live in 24 months, building new power plants takes 5 to 10 years. Even the prospect of reopening 3 Mile Island is on the table. Microsoft's recent move to purchase nuclear power and discussions around renewables highlight the urgent need for sustainable energy solutions. Meanwhile, cooling these data centers consumes billions of gallons of water, adding another layer to the hidden environmental costs of the AI revolution. As AI technology rapidly evolves, it's becoming increasingly clear that our energy infrastructure is struggling to keep up. A single large data center now uses as much power as 100 homes, impacting the grid's stability. Bloomberg highlights how the grid can't support further expansion, forcing companies to reevaluate their energy sources. Microsoft is eyeing nuclear options, while proposals to reopen 3 Mile Island surface. Meanwhile, electricity prices could rise 10 to 20% for 65 million Americans. The water crisis compounds these issues, as billions of gallons are consumed for cooling. The hidden cost of AI demands urgent attention. To ensure a sustainable AI future, addressing energy and water demands is crucial. With AI queries consuming 10 times more electricity than a Google search, and data centers requiring the power of over 350,000 homes, innovative solutions are essential. Microsoft is already investing in nuclear energy, and discussions around reopening 3 Mile Island highlight the urgency. However, renewables are key to maintaining the grid. Corporations must collaborate with governments and consumers to manage this generation gap, as new power plants lag behind data centers, and electricity bills may rise 10 to 20% for 65 million Americans. Your choices have power. Advocate for AI companies that pledge to use renewable energy sources and invest in efficient technologies. Support policies that align with sustainable practices and demand transparency regarding energy consumption. When you prioritize businesses committed to green innovation, like Microsoft buying nuclear power, you catalyze the shift towards a sustainable future. Together, our informed decisions can help alleviate the environmental impact of the AI revolution. The future of AI is undeniably promising, yet the environmental challenges it presents cannot be ignored. Balancing this innovation with sustainable practices is crucial. Microsoft is already investing in nuclear power, while others contemplate reopening 3 Mile Island. As AI chatbots consume 10 times more electricity per query than Google searches, we must urgently address these energy and water demands to secure a responsible and viable future for technology and the planet.